In this video, we'll go through exam questions which cover the Level 2 specification criteria, carry out calculations with numbers up to 1 million, including strategies to check answers, including estimation and approximation, which you can find here on the marsmaths.com website under Level 2. So we'll go through exam questions from different exam boards within this topic, starting with questions within non-calculator papers first, and then questions from calculator papers. Here is the first one from Edexcel. Prasha sees this advert for an apprenticeship. It says apprenticeship plumber, £5.68 per hour, 37 hours per week. Prasha will be paid for 52 weeks of the year. She estimates that she will have an annual salary of £11,500. Use estimation to check if Prasha's estimate is sensible. You must show your working. So the keyword here is estimate. So we are going to estimate the answer, not use actual figures. So £5.68, we could round that to £6. And 37 hours, we could round that to 40 hours. 52 weeks, we could round that to 50. Of course, you could round these to other degrees of accuracy, but I think what I've rounded them to is going to give us a pretty accurate number, so not too far off from the actual number. So we've got then £6 per hour, 40 weeks, 50 weeks of the year. So practically we will be multiplying 6 by 40 and then by 50. So as you know, when it comes to multiplication, order doesn't really matter. So we could do 6 times 40 first and then multiply by 50, or we could do 40 times 50, multiply that by 6. It doesn't really matter. So what I'm going to do is 40 times 50 first. 4 times 5 is 20, and then I just add the 2 zeros, which is the good thing about multiplication. Now I'm going to multiply the answer by 6. Again, I can do the same thing here really. 6 times 2 is 12, and add the 3 zeros, so 1, 2, 3, which gives us 12,000, and that is very close to 11,500 actually. So we can say yes, it's about £12,000. So it's an estimate that is reasonable. This table shows the change in the number of employees in different departments of a company compared to last year. So we've got department, admin, design, production, packing, warehouse and marketing. And we've got the change compared to last year. So -1, 0, +4, +2, -1, -3. What is the total change in the number of employees compared to last year? Now you could do this in different ways. You could do it step by step, so -1 and then add 4 and then add 2, take away 1, take away 3. What I'm going to do is I'm going to group the negatives together and the positives together. So +4 and +2, that gives us +6, and then negatives -1 and -1 is -2. -2, -3, that is -5. And 0 is neutral. So +6 minus 5 tells us that it's +1 overall. You could also do it here. So we've got 0. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going down by 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which brings us to 1. So +1. Now we've got to work out 5 to the power of 4. So what does that mean, 5 to the power of 4? So it's 5 multiplied by itself 4 times. So 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. Now again, you could do this in different ways. You could do 5 times 5, which is 25. So 25 times 25. You could do that. Or you could do 5 times 5, 25, and then times 5, and then times 5 again. So whichever you prefer. I'm going to go with the latter. So 25 times 5. 5 times 5, that is 25. So 5 down and 2 carried over. 5 times 2 is 10, and the 2 is 12. Now we'll do 125 times 5. So 5 times 5, that is 25. 5 down and 2 carried over. 5 times 2 is 10, and the 2 is 12. So 2 down and 1 carried over. 5 times 1 is 5, and the 1 is 6. So that is 625. Now we've got to work out 672 divided by 21. So 672 divided by 21. So how many 21s will fit into 67? So for that, to make it easier, we'll round 21 to 20. So 20 and 20, that is 40, and another 20, that is 60. So add in the 3, so 1 and 1 and 1, so that is 63. So that means 3 lots of 21 fit into 67. And that is 63. So 67 take away 63 leaves us with 4 remaining. So now 21, how many 21s fit into 42? 21 and 21, that is 42. So 2 lots of 21, exactly. So the answer is 32. Calculate 273,696 divided by 24. Show your calculations and the workings out here. So 273,696 divided by 24. How many 24s fit into 27? That's just 1, and we have 3 remaining. How many 24s fit into 33? That's just 1 again, because 2 lots of 24 will be 48, and that doesn't fit into 33. So now, if we take away 24 from the 33, that gives us 13 take away 4, which is 9. So we've got 9 remaining here. Now, how many 24s within 96? Again, you can go 24 and 24 and 24 and 24, or in your head you could round 24 to 25, because that's easy to calculate. So 25 and 25, that is 50, and another 25, that's 75, and another 25, that is 100. So 4 lots of 25 fit within 100. So 4 lots of 24, that will be 96. So from the 100, drop 4 down, because to get to 25, we've added 1 to 24, if it makes any sense. Otherwise, just go at 24, at 24, at 24, at 24, and it still gives you 96. So that is 4 lots of 24. Now, how many 24s fit into 9? That's 0. You can't fit 1 into 9, 1 lot of 24. So that means we've got 9 remaining, because 0 lots of 24 is just 0. So 9 take away 0 gives us 9. Now again, how many 24s fit into 96? And it was 4 of them. We worked it out earlier. That's exactly 4. So the answer is 11,404. It also makes sense to check whether you've done the calculation correctly by doing the reverse operation. Like in this case, it'd be multiplication, because we've done division, so the reverse operation of that is multiplication. So you do 11,404 times 24 to see whether it gives you 273,696, or you could round these. So instead of doing 11,404, I'm just going to round this to 10,000, and then the 24, I'm going to round that to 25, to the nearest 5. And this is very easy to calculate. So you'd have the 25 here, adding 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros, and that gives us 250,000, which is quite close to the 273,696. So that tells us that we must have done the calculation correctly. Calculate the surface area of a cube when the length of a side A is equal to 15 centimeters. Surface area is equal to 6 times A squared. Show your calculations and or working outs here. Now it mentions surface area in here, but you don't really need to know how to work out surface area because it's given to you. It says here 6 lots of A squared when A is equal to 15. So you're practically just replacing A with 15. So 6 lots of 15 squared. We're working out 6 lots of 15 squared. So 15 squared. Okay, we need to do that before we do the multiplication by 6. Again, bit mass rules here. So we've got indices or powers, and that is 15 squared. So 15 times 15. 5 times 5, that is 25, so 5 down and 2 carried over. 5 times 1 is 5, and the 2, that is 7. So we finished with the units, moving to the tens, we put 0 down. 1 times 5 is 5, 1 times 1 is 1. 5 and 0 is 5, 7 and 5 is 12, so 2 down and 1 is carried over. 1 and 1 is 2, so 225. So 6 times 225. So now 225 times 6. 6 times 5, that is 30, so 0 down and 3 carried over. 6 times 2, that is 12, and a 3, that is 15, so 5 down and 1 is carried over. 6 times 2 is 12, and the 1 is 13, so 1,350. Now we have some calculator questions. Dan throws 2 fair dice. The numbers on dice A are 1, minus 2, 3, minus 4, 5, minus 6. The numbers on dice B are minus 1, 2, minus 3, 4, minus 5, 6. The table shows some total scores from throwing the 2 dice. Complete the table. Now it says calculator questions in here, but you don't always need to use a calculator, for the questions that appear in the calculator papers. And I think this is the case as well. So it says total scores, so that tells us that we need to add the scores. So here, for example, 1 and minus 1, that gives us 0. So you have 1, you take away 1, gives you 0. And 1 and 2 gives us 3. 1 and negative 3, or 1, take away 3 gives us negative 2. So it gives you an idea. So to fill this gap here, we're going to go 1, add 6, which is 7. And then to fill this gap here, we're going to go negative 2 or minus 2, add 2. Again, that brings it to 0 because you've got minus 2, which we can show here, and then you add in 2, so going up by 2, which brings it to 0. And then fill in this gap, so we've got minus 2, and we're going down 5 steps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that brings it down to minus 7. Now we've got minus 2, we're going to go up 6 steps. Okay, so minus 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that brings it up to 4. To fill this gap, we've got 3, take away 3, so that gives us 0. Then we've got 3 add 4, which is 7. To fill this one here, we've got minus 4, minus 5. So from minus 4, we're going to go 5 steps down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is going to be minus 8, this is going to be minus 9. To fill this one here, 5, take away 1, which is 4. 5, take away 3, which is 2. 5, add 4, which is 9. 5, add 6, which is 11. Now we've got minus 6, add 2. So from minus 6, we're going to go up 2 steps. So 1, 2. That brings it to minus 4. We've got minus 6, take away 3. So minus 6 is here. 1, 2, 3 steps down. That brings it to minus 9. And then we've got minus 6, add 4. So going 4 steps up. So minus 6, 1, 2, 3, 4 brings it to minus 2. Now we've got to work out 0.06 million divided by 6.2 thousand. Give your answer to 2 decimal places. So here we can use a calculator. But first, let's just change these into digits. So 0.06 million. We know that a million has 6 zeros or 6 digits after. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this up so we have that common right after the millions come in there. So that would be the millions. Then we have thousands. Then we have hundreds, tens, and units. So it's important we line this up in here. So what I'm going to do is put a 0 there, 0 here, so transfer them basically, 6, and then of course it's zeros after. Okay. So we don't need these zeros in front. So I'm just going to rewrite this as 60,000. Now 6.2 thousand. So 6,000, we know that would be comma there, and then we'd have 3 digits after. So next, right next to the 6 on the right, we've got the 2. The rest, we just fill them with zeros. So 6,200. So we need to use the calculator to work out 60,000 divided by 6,200, which gives us 9.6774193548. We've got to give our answer to 2 decimal places, so that means 2 digits after the decimal point, so 1, 2. Looking at the next digit on the right, that's a 7. So if it's 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9, we round up, so this 7 here in front will become 8, and the digits in front will remain the same, so 9.68. So we've got pay rates, working day and the rate, Monday to Friday normal rate, Saturday or Sunday 1 1/4 times the normal rate. Last week a mechanic worked 7.5 hours each day from Monday to Saturday. She did not work on Sunday. Her normal rate of pay is £10.80 an hour. Work out her total pay for last week. Show all your work in. So we've got 7.5 hours each day from Monday to Saturday. So 7.5, that is 7.5. Now we've got different rates Monday to Friday from Saturday. So Monday to Friday, that is 5 days times 7.5, which is 37.5 hours, and the normal rate, which is applicable for Monday to Friday, that is £10.80, so 37.5 times £10.80 gives us £405. For Saturday we've got 7.5 hours, that is 1 1/4. So a quarter is 0.25. If we add 1 to that, that gives us 1.25 of the rate. So we're going to do 1.25 times the normal rate, which is £10.80, gives us 13.5. So that is the rate for Saturday, and it was 7.5 hours that they did on Saturday, so we're going to multiply that by 13.5, which gives us £101.25. Adding these two amounts together, so 405 add 101.25 gives us 506.25. So that is the total amount they were paid last week. To double check that you've done this correctly, you can estimate, so that £10.80 could be rounded to 10, so £10, and then you've got the 7.5, which you can round to 8, so 5 days, 8 times 5 is 40, 40 times the 10 gives you 400, so that's about £400, and then 1 1/4 of the £10, that will be about £12.50, multiplying that by about 8, so you can see where I'm going, and we can ensure that we've done the calculations correctly this way. And as it happens, we've got to use approximation to check our answer. So we can just do like we said, 40 times 10 which is 400, so that gives us this one here. And then we can multiply 8 by £12.50, which gives us 100. So 400 and 100, that is about 500, which is very close to what we have as our answer. I'm going to remove that to avoid any confusion. And this is the end of the questions.